Hello and welcome. I'm Margaret Ann Lembo, and I'm here today to share with you about animal totems and the Gemstone Kingdom. I'll tell you just a little background here. Some of you may have heard this story before, but the book title, Animal Totems and the Gemstone Kingdom, was in my consciousness, in my head, in my thought forms when I woke up one morning. Literally woke up and heard or had in my mind Animal Totems in the Gemstone Kingdom. And it wouldn't let go. It wouldn't let it go. So I emailed both my publishers that I'm grateful to and found out that I could get published by one of them, and the Traditions chose to publish both the book and the deck. And I'm so grateful, and I feel like this was delivered to me. So when I wrote this book, I had already been thinking in the way, like, so often I think in gemstones. Like if I'm thinking purple, I really think amethyst. If I think cobalt blue, I'm really thinking lapis lazuli. And sometimes I actually say that instead interchangeably instead for a color. And um, for me, it's really easy to write the gemstone. Was very easy to write the gemstone aspect of it, and it was fairly easy to pick which animals because oh man, since the early '90s, I've been learning about animal medicine. And I actually was trained on building medicine wheels. I have medicine wheel rocks here in my angel room at the Crystal Garden. That's where I am right now at the Crystal Garden in Palm Beach County, Florida. And I had to do some research, to be honest with you, because I don't know all the characteristics of all the animals and the medicine that they carry. So that was really powerful to do that research and find which gemstones match up with which animals. So I feel that gemstones are like allies and animals are allies. And this is what we're going to delve into a little bit. It's going to be very short because it's only a little half-hour mini workshop. But our first little, no, this is not a little. Our first animal is elephant. Elephant actually was the mascot for me in high school. Elephant. So when elephant walks into your life, this is an excerpt from the book. When elephant walks into your life, you're being called to notice and find a community in which women hold the power and vision of the structure. So for me, when as a in high school, it was an all girls high school, and we were very empowered women. I must say, even in high school, it was a very small school, and it was a really powerful community. So for me, I can see how that relates. So you would have to see if elephant shows up in your life. And the way that this works is if an animal appears repetitively in dreams, in magazine articles, online, so many different ways, on a billboard, on the side of a truck, you don't know, like they come up in so many different ways. Take notice of that repetition and then look up what the medicine is associated. So with elephant, it's also has to do with communication, the ability to communicate through sound because of the way they are in their environment. Also, the sense of smell, olfactory, the seeing, obviously, being able to see, and then tactile, rubbing bodies or touching each other. So the tactile, we haven't been able to do too much body rubbing these days, right? A little bit more distant than that. So I chose Varisite as one of the gemstones. There are multiple. So just so you know, when you go into the book itself, which I will do right now, I'll go to elephant medicine, elephant and Varisite. Here it is. So you can see the picture of the gemstone here. Okay. Um, the other gemstones that are associated for elephant are angelite, amazonite, bloodstone, clear quartz crystals, girasol quartz crystals, which are more cloudy, jade, laser wands, moonstone, the feminine vibration, opal, pink calcite, rhodochrosite, selenite, tabula quartz, and turquoise. A fairly good list. So the reason I bring it up for elephants, that there are so many other gemstones you can work with, is because Veracite is a pretty rare mineral, so you might not find that so readily available, and you might want to work with a companion or spiritually connected gemstone. So that's the story. So now the other thing, um, the key phrase, I just went ahead and put this underneath the Veracite. You could see communication and the nurturing energy of the Divine Mother. So if you don't have right now that connection, be that for yourself. That would be my message for you from Elephant. Elefante. Okay. Next is Giraffe. So with Giraffe, this has to do with because of the ability to be so high up and see the bigger picture. So this totem has to do for seeking a vision or to gain clarity on what lies ahead. So if you are in the middle of maybe a part of your life where you're trying to gain clarity on something and want to see different perspectives on how things might play out, you can call on the vibration, the energy of giraffe medicine to come and assist you in seeing the bigger picture. Giraffe, I'll read right from this PowerPoint presentation. Giraffe, the tallest animal, has excellent vision as well as a good sense of hearing and sense of smell. So you can also work with smoky quartz in situations where you intend to camouflage yourself to remain unnoticed until you can sort things out, until you figure things out, because their coat is a type of a camouflage for themselves. They're pretty big animals, so they might need to camouflage to get around and stay safe. So, as a to mention, tonight's show, the Facebook shop, the Crystal Garden from Home, is going to be immediately following this event. And we do have some beautiful smoky quartz here on our table for you to check out. But it's also on our website if you're not able to visit if you see this much later, or if you aren't able to come to the show, which is at 6:30 Eastern Time tonight. Um, Go to thecrystalgarden.com and you can see more smoky quartz. Look at this cute little pig. So, pig medicine, I've chose sugilite as the main gemstone because it also has to do about letting go of the past, transforming and transmuting situations so that you can let go of the past and move forward in a positive way. So this helps to deflect, get rid of, shift negative thought forms that are stemming from the past. So one of the characteristics of pig is that they are always nuzzling forward. They're going forward. Now, sugilite is also a gemstone that isn't as easily accessible. The ones that what we have in sugilite here at the Crystal Garden are maybe some pendants, maybe a ring or two, but also the tumbled stones are like itsy bitsy, teeny weeny. So let me give you a few other gemstones that could help you. See, and this is the same exact photo of sugilite. Um, the other gemstones, amethyst, which, deflecting, transforming, transmuting, that would be amethyst. Carnelian, fluorite, golden topaz, hiddenite, indic, indigonite, tektites, labradorite, moldavite, which we do have a lot of moldavite jewelry on our website, red calcite, and I think we have a moldavite ring tonight on the show. Two moldavite rings, red calcite, red jasper, and selenite. So there are some other choices. So if you already have these gemstones in your collection, you don't have to buy a new piece. You can use something that you have in the house and work with the vibration of pig medicine to help you let go of the past and move forward with ease and grace. So now let's go to our next one, rabbit. Isn't this the cutest little picture? Look at that little bunny rabbit. So sweet, kissing. Looks like he's kissing the flower, maybe smelling it. So Rabbit energy is very much connected with the cycles of the moon. And one of my favorite stories associated with rabbit medicine was, some of you may know that when I was in the process of becoming an author back in the early 2000s, uh, Ted Andrews was still alive and was my author mentor. Ted Andrews wrote the Animal Speak book and so many books, and he was very well versed. Anyway, he came here to the Crystal Garden for an event, which I was so grateful, so excited. Couldn't believe he called me on the phone and said, "Can I come to your store and do an event?" I'm like, "Is this the real Ted Andrews?" And it was. But anyway, he told the story about Rabbit that night and said that when Rabbit shows up in your life, to pause, wait 28 and a half days in connection with, or at least 28 days in connection with the moon cycles, until you, till that time passes, just wait, don't do anything. Sometimes doing nothing is much more powerful than taking action. And so that vibration of rabbit, I went home that night and I was driving, pulled into my driveway, and a rabbit ran across my driveway. I just couldn't believe it. It felt like a magical manifestation. But sure enough, the rabbit froze, which they do as a natural in their habitat. That's what they do when they don't want to be seen. They freeze. And then they pause and wait until it's safe to move again so that they're not going to be caught because they are very much an animal that's preyed upon. So, but for you as an individual, this might be a message when uh, rabbit shows up, just to wait it out. Whatever is going on in your life that maybe you're trying to figure out what to do, how to deal with it, you don't have to maybe do anything. Just wait a little bit longer, maybe until the next full moon or new moon or wherever it is, wherever we are in our cycles. So also because of their creative, they co-create, they very fertile. They also are very good for working energetically for creating and creative ventures, creative manifestations, for giving birth to new things or projects, bringing them to fruition. And so Botswana agate was the gemstone I chose for that because that is a very good stone for working with creative energies and to looking at things from different perspectives. And the pink Botswana agate, which is pictured here, is one of my favorite stones that I like. And so it almost looks like the inside of their pink little ears to me. And there are other gemstones you can use. So if you decide that you want to know all the stories for this, go into the Animal Totems in the Gemstone Kingdom book. Okay, so crab totem. So what I did to choose these animals for tonight is I based it on what you guys told me from last week. Some of you came to my event and did the drumming journey. And so I wrote down really quickly as many as I could catch off of the chat as to what you all saw in your journey into your own consciousness. So crab totem is really I've always connected with crab on some level, maybe because I have Cancer rising, and that is the animal associated with Cancer in the zodiac. But it's an ally when you're trying to find your path, or you need to be able to shift and change directions when necessary. And so crab has been an ally for me and for my business during this global pandemic because I changed my business model during the global pandemic to become virtual and online. And that was a huge shift, and so that's a big change in direction. And also to connect with the inner feelings and emotions. So I relate this to myself because there were a lot of emotions about after being in business close to 33 years. We'll be 33 this year in August. Had to go from people coming into my store to dealing only virtually, phone and internet. And it's ended up being great and okay, and most of the staff was able to stay on board and things are okay. So now the vibrational matching gemstone for crab is trilobite. But I would also say Orthoceras would work, Ammonites would work. But trilobite is a fossilized marine creature of more than 500 years ago. So as you can see, that's written here on the screen. This, and we do have these in our show tonight. This fossil can help you uncover crusty feelings and emotions that are affecting your decisions and your actions. And it's good to be able to uncover your emotions. This is a water animal, and water animals have to do with our emotions and how we're feeling. So you can use trilobite to release unwanted memories. So that's something that can assist you with that process. If you wish. It's definitely an unusual looking fossil, that's for sure. Let me see what else I chose just for the sake of in case you don't like the look of that. I think it's cool looking, but let's see. You might want something that's easier to bring to carry in your pocket. So there it is in the book. You can see a picture of it. It reminds me of horseshoe crabs. When I was a little girl, we had big horseshoe crabs in the bay, and what is the name of it? What was that bay called? It's a sheep's head bay, I guess. I grew up in the summers in Breezy Point. I'm a beach girl. All right, so here are some additional vibrational matching gemstones for crab. So aragonite, black tourmaline, Botswana agate, so that's the same as we had for rabbit, celestial quartz, jasper, howlite, orange calcite, smoky quartz, which also matches giraffe, and unakite. So there's not just one gemstone matching vibrationally for each, animal. There's multiples. All right. So here's a few more photos just to give you, of the cards to give you an idea of what the matching deck looks like as far as inside. And the way that you could work with this is just like before we started this presentation, I pulled a card. And what I would recommend is to get to know your animals, to get to know your gemstones. You could shuffle the cards in the morning, pull a card, read it, contemplate it. If you have the book, go ahead and read more about it in the book. There are 44 in the deck and 88 animals in the book. So you can find it in the book and read more about it and then use that as a tool. So butterfly medicine and dragonfly medicine. And we do have some um, very faint phantom quartz tonight, and right, they're hardly noticeable. And amethyst cathedral, we do have some nice amethyst. That's a big guy over there. It's very nice. Kate gave it she gave blow dried it. Well, clusters, these cathedrals get dusty inside, and so you know that can that you squirt to clean your computer, we use that air to clean the cathedral. So here's a sample of pulling some cards with your morning coffee if you would like to, and you could pull out your little notebook and jot down ideas, what hit you when you read the card, what the inspiration is. I highly recommend journaling, and I highly recommend that you connect with what that animal means to you. Because bee medicine might mean one thing to you than it does to me. For bee medicine, it means has to do with community and productivity. But to another person, it may mean, I don't know, having an allergic reaction if they get stung. Spider medicine for me is a beautiful sign to get writing. Sometimes I ignore it, sometimes I pay attention. And ladybug for me I chose these because these are some of my favorites. Ladybug has a lot to do with Mother Mary, and also my mom, and making wishes and believing in whatever you wish upon and focus on and put your attention on can become a reality. Just have to do it with some passion and taking some action. So basically, believe it or not, I believe that's all I have for you tonight. Oh, and then of course I'm back to will you vote? Hey, I gotta ask for the votes. There's a lot in my category. There are some categories that have one choice. My category, there's a lot for both of my book and the deck. If you wouldn't mind, I would really be grateful. Go to this link. Were you able to post it? Excellent. So there should be a link for you guys to just follow the link. Go to the Survey Monkey survey, and takes 5 or 6 minutes. Thank you for that, and thank you for attending today.